Today, we're checking out the Photo Industry by Akinwumi.
Welcome to the Photo Industry. Yeah.
Nice. This space is beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if that's what people's reactions, if that's the typical reaction when they come in here.
We get some reaction, people say it's beautiful. Some people are like, oh, I want to live here. Some
You
people
know.
are like, but generally it's around that ballpark basically. It's always appreciated.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Wow. Okay, good. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good.
How
good.
is business?
We thank God.
How's
We
it all
thank God.
going?
It's good. We thank God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the wedding.
Thank you so much.
Got married recently.
Thank you. You're trying to be like, you're setting the standard for people like us.
Nice, congratulations.
Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Akinwumi Oshinkoya. I'm a visual artist, I'm a photographer, fashion, beauty, portrait photographer. I'm also a filmmaker, and welcome to the Photo Industry.
Shoot here, obviously.
Yes.
The studio. But then what else happens here?
It's also a rental space for other photographers and other creative content creators. It's also a space for pop-ups,
Right.
events, small events, intimate events. Some people want to do their bridal showers here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, so it's one of those spaces, where anything can happen, even yoga classes.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a fantastic space, so you might as well take advantage of, all of those things, yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
eager. Let's
Yeah,
show
so
us around.
let me give you a quick tour. Let's start from, the idea of this space was basically from my time in New York,
Right.
because I spent, a couple of, maybe like 2-3 years in New York after film school and all of that. And
Nice.
it was sort of like bringing that experience back here so that it felt like home. And that was the idea of, the brick walls and all of those things.
Right, so you're not just coming back with the knowledge, you're
Yeah.
coming back with the feel.
With the feel as well, yeah,
Right.
exactly. This is my office basically, and I wanted this idea where we didn't have something that was covered to keep the
Okay.
space big, and also
Right.
just to make people know that I'm accessible.
Yeah,
You understand?
okay.
And yeah, even though it's one of those spaces that can move, you can close it up, and this guy as well closes up in case I need the
Oh, okay,
privacy.
so it can be
Yeah,
locked.
it can be
Oh,
locked basically. Yeah, so that's my office, and then you have this. 2 frames from my exhibition I did in 2019.
Right.
It's the mass collection basically, and there were four pieces, and these
Okay.
are my favorite 2 from them. So,
How did it go?
it was fantastic. It was fantastic. That was my first exhibition, my first solo exhibition. So
Right.
it was one of those things where it was a good experience. I'm grateful basically.
Fantastic,
Yeah, and yeah, so that's my
I like
office.
your desk.
Thank
Is
you
this
so much.
something that was made.
No, this was actually bought. This was bought, yeah. This was bought from a furniture store here in Abuja, but this was made. This was made, yeah. This was made here in Nigeria.
Basketball. Right.
Yeah. I have this hoop, just like a stress reliever, basically. When editing gets too tiring and stuff, and you just want to stretch your feet, you just come make a few hoops.
When clients are not paying the money, you want them to.
Exactly. You just come and you let out some steam. We come in this direction. You have this fridge here, and then you have this bad boy. So whenever anyone
Take a
takes,
drink
take a
and
drink,
leave
leave
it
a tip, do a pic sheet. That's that. Then we have this Polaroid camera. This is something I bought for my film that I shot in 2021.
Right.
I shot a short film off of an iPhone.
Right.
It's on YouTube, so
I will
people-
definitely link.
yeah. So I bought this to be in the film. It was one of the props in the film because it was set in 2001. So I wanted something that had a feel of like back then, and all of that. And then we moved to this section here. This section is one of my favorite sections, and mainly because I made this thing myself with my own hands.
No way.
Yeah, a lot of the things in the studio, by the way, is DIY. A lot of things here was done, myself and all of that. This was laid myself. This was made myself. I cut up the pipes, did the wiring, bought the bulbs, set it up. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, man. And then this couch was made by Major Woodwork, Somto. Yeah.
So this is the second studio. I think Khaleegraphy Studio was the first studio.
Yeah.
Where there was I think it was a desk.
Okay.
And
Somto made also.
So this is.
Yeah, this is.
Somto.
Yeah.
You need to start sponsoring this.
Yeah,
series, So
yeah,
nice.
he has really nice work. Yeah, he also made the table as well. We'll get there.
Right.
But this is also another stress reliever, the foosball.
Foosball.
Yeah, so You know, you just...
I can imagine people getting heated.
Yeah, yeah. A couple of guys have come here, and you know, this is what took all their attention. They didn't want to leave. You know, just playing all of that. We have the whole aesthetic of, you know, this very rustic, industrial kind of vibe where everything looks sort of incomplete, but you know, that's the idea of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Vanessa Ibenye. I'm the manager at the Foto Industry here in Abuja. My favorite thing about the space is definitely the decor. It's a very beautiful space, and I really like it.
Your screen here.
Yeah.
Do you use them for slideshows?
Yes. Basically, most of the time is being used as a slideshow rather than, you know, having you know, like a lot of frames, you know, because we don't want stuff. We want everywhere here to be used for taking pictures. We couldn't really hang so much stuff on the wall, so we decided to use that as a digital display. But as well, when we have classes or workshops and all of that, we also use this as, you know, sort of like like a projector kind of thing, and all of that. But at the same time, you know, when I'm on my own, when there's football playing, I also watch TV and stuff. So yeah, it does the work of a TV basically. Yeah. And then we have this section. We have this, you know, this beautiful mirror here, which is also like a sliding door that, you know, ta-da, reveal. We have a restroom in there. Yeah. So yeah. So this is something that people also appreciate in the studio, because no one really knows, you know, that's what it is until you actually tell them. It just feels like it's just one of those mirrors and stuff. So that's that.
I hope it has a lock on the inside.
Oh yeah, definitely. It has one. And then we move to this section, and this is where we have, you know, the equipment. This is my baby right here.
So
this guy.
I first met this guy. I'm going to refer to it as a person. I first met this guy 2017.
Yeah.
And you know, it was your workshop.
Yeah.
So I attended his workshop in 2017. And I saw this and the quality
Of the light, yeah.
There was this specular, you know, it looked really nice.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I should get me one of these. Till I looked up the price.
No, it was something that I didn't know I could get as well until when I was in film school, and then, you know, we had the student discounts where you could literally get stuff for half the price from B&H, and I capitalized on that, and I used that to buy most of all my equipment, because trust me, prices are not cheap stuff. So yeah, that's when I got this guy. So yeah, you have this, you have, you know, a couple of stands, C stands, and this.
How like having stands that move around, how cool is that? How useful is that?
Oh, it's so useful because, you know, all of this stuff are pretty heavy, so, you know, lifting it all the time, especially if you're someone. I used to shoot alone a lot before. Like I don't know, most of my shooting life has been, you know, me shooting on my own. I've barely had assistance, so you know, having this you know, to move around, you know, is great. So when I bought the stand and I realized how heavy it was, the stand itself, and what I wanted, I decided to go to the welders, and you know, we did this. We made the wheels. Yeah, we put the wheels ourselves, because we couldn't find wheels that could fit on the stands. The ones we could find were the ones that could stay on tripods. Tripods could stay on top. Yeah, but the base of this is a lot wider than that. So we just took this to the welder and constructed this. DIY saves lives, man. You know, and it saves a lot of money as well. Because unfortunately, we're in Nigeria where you don't have access to all of this. And I'm sure, like, you know, in a different world, you know, all of these things are very easy to find in like Home Depot and all of this stuff. But here, you don't really have access to all of that stuff. So you have to be a DIY person to, you know, make this stuff happen.
I might come for instructions, but I need wheels on my stand.
No.
My name is Adam Stacy Job. I'm a photographer at the Foto Industry, and what I love most about the Foto Industry is the comfort they offer to the staffs and also to clients coming here to take pictures. It's really, as you can see, the place is really good. We have a lot of space, different furnitures for your pictures and make your content creating, and you're welcome to the Foto Industry.
Hi, my name is Mo Tunrola, and I'm a photographer at the Foto Industry. My favorite thing about the space would be the walls, the interior, and the music.
This section back here is where we keep all the equipment and stuff.
It's like the storage.
Yeah, the storage, yeah, basically. And then you have this flats, which are also DIY. Basically just got polystyrene foam and then painted one side black and the other side you just left it as it is to access the flats. Okay. Yeah. And then, you know, we also have this board which was made as sort of like a background as well. So
Yeah,
it was
like
just
the
painted.
texture.
Yeah, because I didn't have I didn't have a canvas background yet. I just wanted to do something that looks somewhat like canvas, basically. So that's why we did the texture
And this
like this.
color means it's versatile.
Yes.
So like if you put like the gel on the light.
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
It
you
changes
do
the color.
something.
Yeah, and behind is actually a different color. And yeah, also if we move this back, you could also see a reveal of this special thing we have here, which is the natural light section. We have all of this light coming in here, you know. So if you want to shoot natural light as well, we have access to that. Or you have access to that in this space.
This is beautiful
Yeah.
light.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, the
you also
view
have
is-
this nice view as well.
The view is stunning.
Yeah.
But then the light,
Yeah.
especially this time of, I can imagine what it'd be like in the evening.
In the evening, yeah, like towards like around like 4 or 5, you know, when the sun is starting to set, you know, it's beautiful, and you could shoot on this background, and you have
all of the warmth
Yeah.
with the bricks.
exactly, you know. So it's actually very beautiful.
Nice.
Someone who has been looking forward to come to this place is Tope
Yes,
Upload.
Tope is
Yeah,
fantastic.
because he,
Tope
you know, he loves natural light.
natural
So
light,
yeah, you know, I
exactly.
know he's definitely going to come one of these days. Yeah, to shoot, and then
nice.
yeah. So this is the back, which has a different color.
Okay.
To the one in front, sort
we
of like a
know what
beige.
to call-
Yeah, sort of like a beige-ish color. Yeah, but besides that, also we also have, you know, backgrounds that's in that section there, paper
Right,
backgrounds
okay,
on that side. Yeah, so we have a few colors, you know, for people who want to shoot and all of that.
One of the Apple boxes.
Yeah, we have the Apple boxes. We have these guys like creates. This is a board for when we have classes, you know, so people can write, you know, workshops and all of that. We have the stools. We have a ladder there. We have a steamer. Basically, everything you find.
you have a lot going on.
Everything you have in a standard studio, basically.
You have a lot going
Yeah, this guy here basically just serves as a work table, basically. And then this is also background. If someone wants to shoot on this background as well, we have access to that.
I mean, I like the idea that all of the walls are basically backgrounds that
Yeah.
you can use for your shoots.
Yeah, and then we have this changing room right here. You know, wanted to do an idea where, you know, just like the office where things can be opened and it's not permanent. So, you know, if people just come, you could just, you know, close this up. Yeah, and all of that. So that's that.
So these are like the hangers.
Yeah, so basically you just hang your clothes there and all. Some of the difficulties I experienced when I was setting up the spaces, you know, I had all of these things in my head. So trying to communicate them to artisans and stuff like that, it seemed like it was impossible to do because, you know, when you have crazy ideas, people always tell you, and that's not how it's done. Because I remember when I wanted to do the bricks inside and they were like, yeah, oh God, they don't do bricks inside, they do it outside, you know, stuff like that. That's some of the challenges. Also, just the time that it required, because having to be here at every single stage, because, you know, everything I had was in my head, was also challenging because, you know, you couldn't just leave people to take creative freedom, because one slight miss and it's not exactly what you want. And I'm someone who is very, very particular about details. So I think that was the most challenging bit for me, besides the funds, obviously, because it took a lot of money to set this place up. So yeah, we moved to this guy. We have the signage here. This was done by Chief Porter.
Oh, right, I know that
yeah.
handle on Instagram.
Yeah, I actually found them on Instagram. I reached out to them and then they did a fantastic job. You know, they brought my vision to life. And then we have this, you know, this props here, this table and this tea table and this for, you know, that Victorian era kind of vibe. Yeah.
I have a series on the channel, Khaleegraphy.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like this.
Yeah, definitely.
kind of
This
set
yes,
for
definitely.
that, so
This is what that's meant for.
Beans were coming back here.
Definitely, yeah.
Beans were coming back.
Yeah, and then finally we have, you know, this section for the workstations where we have the computer and we also have the printer for printing passports and the likes.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
because, you know, we offer passport services here as well. So
Okay.
you could take your passport photographs, have it printed. And the idea is you take the best passports ever. You know, unlike every day where people go and take passports and you look really
Some
ugly.
random places.
Yeah, but here, you know, you have the comfort and it's also very affordable as well. So
Right. I really like this.
yeah, this table here, epoxy,
So-
was made by Imejo Woodwork as well, by Somto.
Right.
Yeah, another fantastic piece that he's made. So that's basically the photo industry.
This is
Yeah.
beautiful. I'm sure I want to come back here. I'm curious, right? I'm
Yeah.
curious about, you mentioned walk-in studio.
Yeah,
Like my space, I'm very
Protective.
very protective
Yeah.
of the space, and I'm thinking if I have a walk-in studio, you know, random people might just walk in.
Yeah.
You know, but clearly you don't have that.
Oh, trust me, I'm worse than you. I'm very protective, but I mean, I had to find a way to sort of like balance it out because I started to try to think more like a business person as opposed to being just a creative. We as creatives, we're very sentimental about stuff. So it's actually it's difficult to try to balance both, but somehow I just find a way to do it. Trust me, I'm a lot worse when it comes to being protective about my space. So I know. So it's actually a learning process for me, a learning process as well. So. Yeah.
One thing that people say often, because you have this beautiful space now, the idea is that you started out like this.
Nope.
Was that the case?
Nope, that's not the case. I remember back then in like the 2011, 2012, I used to shoot in my mom's parlor. And basically, what we do is we move couch. She had this L couch then, and what we do is we take one piece and put it on top of the other one, move everything to the size of the wall, set up the background in front of the door to the point that once you set up the background, no one can come in or out. So because we've blocked it. So the thing is, everyone that needs to be inside before you set up the background, and that's where we used to shoot. So it was really a struggle.
That is like
for
the family members.
Yeah, exactly.
Even for whoever it is you're photographing.
Yeah.
There'll be a certain discomfort. This is clearly.
The family house. Yeah, and I remember then, if you're shooting like something where people need to change, we would have to excuse them. We'll go to the kitchen so they can have because there's no other place they could change.
Right.
So it was but now we're here, man. So it's been a long journey. If I was to give an advice to someone who's starting out, I would say just keep grinding, man. It's never just one day. It takes time. Like I've been doing this for over 10 years. Professionally, before then there was a lot of trial and error and all of that. So just keep grinding and advantage of having your own space is you get to have full control. It was one of the challenges I had when I didn't have my own spaces. I couldn't do things the way I wanted to and how I wanted to. But having your own space sort of gives you that creative freedom. You can do whatever you want at whatever time you want, but at the same time don't go overboard. If you see that there's no way for it to be sustainable, there's no point rushing into it. I think calculate, you give yourself like a timeline. Okay, if by this certain time I can make this amount, then I'm going to go ahead and do the space, and always have a plan. Because for me, being here is not just where I'm stopping. I have somewhere I'm headed to. I have a bigger goal. I have, plans to expand and all of that. So always just have a plan, and just keep grinding and, you get there eventually.
Why the photo industry?
Because of the field, I had this industrial idea that I wanted to, and I wanted to be something that, that when people see the name and they see the space, they could sort of like put it together.
Right.
So I just came up with that name, the Foto Industry. So, and also it's also going to be like a learning center as well, where we train sort of like, I wouldn't say train, but fabricate photographers. So, that's why I also thought the Foto Industry would be a nice name, because it's like, we're grooming, actually making these people into great photographers. So, good things are made in the industry.
I have no doubts that you can do that. Like I mentioned earlier, I attended this workshop in 2017.
Yeah.
Yes, and it helped form my perspective on a lot of things, especially the way I do my workshops.
Yeah.
Because your workshop was, again, it was at the house.
Yeah, it was at the house, yeah.
It was at the house, but then it was chill. It wasn't a classroom type.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out. Your mom cooked.
Yeah, no, I remember,
yeah. How about the food? Nah, your
the
mom
food was banging,
excellent.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And it has formed the way my workshops are now. Even though I don't have a choice but to have set it up like a classroom.
Yeah.
But the vibe of it is relaxed.
It's relaxed, yeah.
The food isn't in just takeaway packs.
Exactly, it's not just small chops.
It's not just small chops,
True.
It's
and I realized that when people are more relaxed, they tend to assimilate more.
Exactly.
They feel a lot more comfortable. It feels like there's no force about it,
Exactly.
But when it's a classroom setup, it's sort of like, I must take first, I must pass.
Exactly.
But when it's more relaxed, everybody
people
just
tends more comfortable saying, no, sorry, I don't
understand. Yeah, exactly.
Because it feels like they're hanging out with their guy.
True. And if you remember, the class was actually a limited amount of people. I think it was just 5 of us or there about 5 students. It was a small number. Yeah. So that way, you can actually pay attention to each individual person, as opposed to when you have like a massive class and
that class was heavy hitters.
Yeah.
It was Haye, it was Mokwibro, it was
Nonso, yeah.
Who else? There was somebody else. I mean, there was me, obviously. There was somebody else.
I can't remember who the last person was.
Yeah, but like it was.
Oh, geez.
Nice. Okay, so it's been good hanging out with you.
Same here, man.
This is a lovely space. I definitely want to come back and shoot some stuff. I can't get past the look of this wall,
Yeah.
especially. And the fact that you made the lights yourself,
Oh, yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
It's fantastic. So thank you for having us.
Thank you
Guys,
so much for coming.
we just checked out the Photo Industry by Akinwumi. Feel free to stop by if you have money. Subscribe to the channel, like, share, and we'll link all of them. So we'll link
The Photo
his
Industry,
Instagram,
yeah.
the Photo Industry, Somto, Chief Potter, free adverts for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah? Take care, guys. See you
All
on
right.
the next one. Peace.